Tired of endlessly scrolling through YouTube Shorts and TikTok? And want to play some banger games that are worth your time and money? Then boy oh boy, this is the video for you!
Hi, I'm MG Eater, but my friends call me Militia. You may know me as the guy who edits funny videos for the furry who wears two-tone shades. The guy who ran around his friend's backyard in a bad Batman costume chasing a cat for some reason, or perhaps you got here by accident. Whatever the case may be, I've got the deal of a lifetime for you. I've spent the past while editing, playing, watching, and gooning over a multitude of different genres of games. And let me tell you, there's a lot of them. But which ones offer the best bang for your buck? Which ones should you be spending your hard cheddar on? Which ones should you summon a third metaphor? Today I'm here to give you a rapid-fire, quick pick of 12 games that are worth your hard-earned money and are definitely ones that are worth their asking price 100%. Some you may know, some you may not be familiar with, and some are just ones I found strewn about the internet. Let's start with one of my most recent favorites. What do you get when you put a duck in a trench coat and drop him into a world of witty characters wrapped in stupidly good writing? You get one of the best set of detective games available on Steam. I'm so serious.
I've had so much fun waddling my way through the crime-ridden world of Eugene McQuacklin, throwing bread to Lady Justice and quacking in the face of those who don't respect her. This game truly has some of the most fun characters I've stepped into the world of, voiced by a stellar cast that truly breathes so much personality into every cat, bear, crocodile wearing a Hawaiian shirt, pigeon, and bread-obsessed duck. It's got a blend of 2D hand-drawn characters mixed with a 3D environment, mystery that doesn't feel too complicated but still offers a challenge, and overall, just a blast to play. There's dry humor, puns, and a whole load of side splitters to be had, as each case doesn't take absurdly long to beat either, clocking in around 2 to 3 hours each. First one I found by accident, and I fell so in love with that when the second game launched a few weeks later, I dove in as fast as my wallet would let me.
$10 each, it's honestly my favorite new release I've played in recent times, and I highly recommend this duck and his spunk. But you know, there are some older gems that offer some incredible gaming times as well. Take for example,
Monstrum is an action roguelite survival horror game where you are trapped on a boat with one of 3 creepy monsters skulking around every dark and creepy corner, attempting to impede on your several escape routes. Your job is to find fuses for powering different paths of the ship, defensive items like fire extinguishers and cups to lure monsters away or attack them directly, and other things to help aid your escape from the murky depths surrounding you.
The art style is super grimy, very dark, and it creates this very foreboding eeriness that is palpable through the entire ship and further enhanced upon by subtle environmental things that create just so much good tension. Stuff like the winds, the ocean waves crashing into each other, or my personal favorite, the loud stomping that you hear as Big Fireboy comes charging at you to bash your brains in. Altogether, it immerses you so hard into this nightmare freighter that you find yourself trapped on. The result is that your fight or flight senses will always be active as you hide, cover cameras to power certain areas, and spin steam valves to hope and pray that you were able to get the pathing of the monster correct and you didn't just turn around and you know what I mean?
Genuinely, even after 10 years, this game is still one I love to go back to when I want a good scare. It's $18 and it'll have you slamming doors and throwing cups like a pro in no time.
But what if you like roguelikes and you don't want to have to worry about a squid man laying eggs in your stomach? Then let me introduce you to...
When I tell you this game has a death grip on me, I am not joking. Balatro is such a unique and fun premise that I really want to one day make a full video breaking down everything it has to offer. But that's for another day. Let's just keep it simple for now. This is a poker roguelike deck builder card game about getting big number to be as big as possible. You do this by playing hands like full house, pairs, straights, and even some illegal hands such as 5 of a kind or flush houses, to earn chips that get multiplied by a specific hand's multiplier. You can increase the chips and multipliers in a variety of different ways, such as getting a tarot card that lets you change hands into different suits, having a joker that gives you multipliers, planets that level up your hand, or spectrals you pick that just turn your entire hand into 7s or something. Each ante, or round, you fight against 2 blinds and then a boss blind that offers some wacky effects like dealing the first hand upside down, or every card played makes you go further into debt. You can even skip the first 2 blinds if you want to redeem tags that can offer you extra jokers for free, packs with cards to add to your deck, and so much more.
This game has so many different ways you can actually play. So many different decks with a multitude of rules, odd joker combos that seem insane until you start cracking million chip hands over and over and over again, and just the most soothing and chill soundtrack that transitions so beautifully between 4 different other versions for different parts of the game. I have over 70 hours of game time on this beautiful little gem. It is absolutely amazing. I love it to pieces. It is only $14.99. Buy this game. It legitimately almost won Game of the Year last year. That's how good this is. Speaking of Game of the Year contenders, let's switch things back to the horror genre for a split sec and dive into one of my favorite games I've ever experienced quite a few times now at this point. One of the best of its genre, it is.
I am a person who loves games that prioritize environmental fear in tangency with big, crazy segments that scare the fucking shit out of you. Simple stories involving a set of well fleshed out characters that burn into your memories for years to come. I also love puzzles. And lucky for me, Res 7 checks off every one of those boxes.
This game balances tone, gameplay elements, story, everything just so goddamn well, all within a first-person perspective that controls better than most modern shooters, for Christ's sake. Now, I will say, when I first played this game, I had not touched another entry in the franchise ever. So there were no preconceived notions, no bias, nothing to compare it to. I was going in completely blind, which was amazing because I fell so deeply in love with the dank Louisiana swamp we find ourselves trapped in. Ethan is one of my favorite horror protagonists in the space, period. Like, I just love his personality. I love how he reacts to things so, like, he feels so real. He doesn't feel like a wet cardboard cutout like some horror games do. He just feels like a guy who just is in this really, really shitty situation and reacts like a normal person would. I love it. I love the way that they characterize him in this story.
Mia offers a great back and forth, can you trust her kind of vibe. Jack is fucking great and scares the fucking daylights out of me every time I go back to the game. All the Bakers honestly bring charm and fear to the table that offer some unique experiences between each one. Plus, with the limitations placed on ammo, healing items, and a great use of backtracking to allow for more of the world to be fleshed out as you progress through the story, it just is personally one of my favorite horror games of all time.
If you haven't seen anything on this game, first off, please teach me your secrets on how to avoid spoilers. I could really use that skill. But second off, I would highly suggest you go in completely blind and experience this game firsthand for everything it has to offer. It's $20 on Steam for peak. And if you want, get the DLCs as well. They offer a great expansion onto the world of not only 7, but the entire Resident Evil franchise as a whole somewhat. If I'm to suggest any game mode specifically from the DLC, play the 21 mode. Roblox does fine imitating it, but it's just so much better in the game, trust me. Speaking of peak horror, let's talk about one of the most fun new games to enter the spooky arena that goes in a bit of a different direction. I didn't know about this game until I edited this one, and I wasn't exactly sold on the premise of it either. That was until it went from being a cutesy little dating sim type game about an anime girl to that girl becoming a murderous digital psychopath with no chill. As soon as that snap happened, I was sold and locked the fuck in.
This game is heat. And I think it all boils down to the fact that it just offers so much in such a short period of time. We got all different versions of our main narrative character, Mita, from kind to mini to visual novels to one that wears a cap that is just the coolest, each with their own distinct gameplay loop and environment you find yourself in, all while pretty much taking place in the same bedroom/housing unit. Crazy Mita is an absolute unit of a threat that is dialed up to 11 at every moment. Her presence in any scene always elevates things in such a fun and terrifying way that allows her to be such a great antagonist to combat.
This game has multiple endings, a great soundtrack to boot, stupendous voice acting, subtitle formatting I could only dream of replicating myself, and so much more. If you got 15 bucks burning a hole in your pocket, I would highly suggest giving this game a try. And I'm being super vague with this one because I don't want to spoil too much of it. This is another one of those go in blind kind of games. Want another unique game that offers some great variations in gameplay and a banging soundtrack? Well, how about
Critical Reflex is a publisher I feel like just releases hit after hit, allowing devs to create some of the most wild games I've ever experienced. From Mouthwashing to Buckshot Roulette to Threshold, their catalog is insane, and it only looks to be getting more insane. But I'll talk about them in another future video. For now, let's talk about the game where you cook eggs. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. All I had was a trailer, and that's it. It was just a frying pan and eggs. But damn it, this was such a fucking good time. Basic summary, you are a person whose only job is to walk up to people and cook for them. If you cook for enough people, you gain an audience with the Saint of Six Stomachs, who will allow you to leave this futuristic dystopia. Usually it's an egg, but sometimes there may be sausage, bacon, cockroaches, bullets.
You know, the usual breakfast items. But the further you get, the more that the dialogue unravels this odd world and allows you to better understand its people, the location that you're in, and so much more. Sometimes it's deep philosophical knowledge, lost to the ages. Sometimes it's a guy filming rotting meat. And sometimes you just meet someone surviving in this weird world, one day at a time. And I think that's really cool.
It isn't trying to do anything except just give players of their game an experience that is unforgettable, odd, and a bit challenging. From the weird future techno feel to the absurdity of the ingredients you may encounter, Arctic Eggs is unlike anything I have ever experienced or probably ever will. Can you cook an egg on Mount Everest? Find out for only $9.99. It's worth it. You may just learn a bit about yourself. Or maybe you get high cholesterol. Who knows?
Looking for something with a little less artery clogging potential? How about a nice simple adventure game with a really fun twist? I definitely suggest to you criminally underrated game right here. If you like minimalistic graphics, adventure, and cool swords, boy do you need to play this game. This game is simple, but it offers so much intrigue and mystery beneath its surface.
After picking up a cursed sword, you are doomed to live for only 60 seconds at a time. Each time you spawn, you come back with the knowledge of your surroundings and unravel more of the world. Slowly, but surely progress towards breaking your curse. You play as this goofy little guy with some big old lips and explore a vast world brimming with oddities that will surely delight fans of exploration and discovery. From hidden areas to wacky characters, fighting some fun enemies, and getting a few power-ups here and there, this game is deceptively simple, but offers a rich story that is a blast to go through for only $9.99.
And if deceptively simple games are your jam, allow me to toss you in to an old classic.
Before Inscription was the hot talk of the town, Daniel Mullen Games created one of the first games I properly livestream on my channel. It was supposed to be just a simple game about ponies, but oh no, there was something darker, something sinister, lurking beneath the surface of this cute little fictional Equus Caballus. This game was a trap for those who played it, and for who had laid the trap but the devil himself, trying to steal your soul. So through a multitude of puzzles, pseudo-hacking, and a wide range of other fun elements thrown in for good measure, you fight to keep your soul and defeat this demon.
Honestly, the fact that the dev created such a simple way to give explanations for how the game's pseudo-coding elements worked so easily without a long-winded tutorial is incredible, which makes the overall experience of going through what is essentially a DOS-style horror game really intriguing and awesome to see, and I really want more of these to exist. It's a bit of an oldie for sure, but it honestly holds up super well. I plan to play it again in the near future, so if you want to know when that will be, make sure you hit that little subscribe button and tap that little bell icon so you're notified of when it all actually happens. Anyways, for $4.99, you get to fight the devil and experience one of the most simplest but bonkers games out there. Speaking of insanity, what if I told you there was a bonkers game that you could play with your friends that also features some fun animal designs and some very unique gun gameplay? Well, then I'd recommend.
This is by far one of the best versus shooter games I have ever gotten to play. Sleek graphics, a gameplay loop that is satisfying and chaotic more than most, and goofy ass anthropomorphic animals. what's not to love?
That gameplay loop I mentioned, it takes that old boring pew pew sort of action you get in any AAA game and says, fuck it. Here's a card that lets everybody's shoes sound like clown shoes. Here's one that slows down times for a few seconds. Here's one that makes your head giant. Here's one that makes the floor turn to lava for real.
It's crazy, offers a wide range of weaponry you can also get from the cards you have in a deck you get to build, and even each character has unique abilities like double jumping, summoning turns, free heals, and way more. The best part? There is no pay-to-win elements available at all. Sure, there are DLC, but it's all cosmetics and such. The only one to offer expansions to your card pool is absolutely free to all players, which is honestly just amazing. Plus, there's multiple game modes, you aren't limited to one person being a specific character, and there's a fun little hub world to explore around and just parkour while you wait. The team over at Brainwash Gang cooked with this one and truly crafted a fun game to make me enjoy shooters with my friends, which is a challenge if you know me. For only $9.99, I can vibe and have a good time with the lads, and that's awesome.
After playing for a couple hours though, you might want something that's going to help you kind of cool down a little bit, still let you exercise your mind, but relieve your stress. So grab that friend that pissed you off the least and bring them along for a fun co-op puzzle adventure called
Old school Flash-style puzzle games are awesome.
I think this is a fact that all of us who grew up between 1996 and 2003 can agree on. Cool math, addicting games, Newgrounds. There were just so many options to get your fix of problem-solving skill-based games available all over the internet. But what if we went bigger just a smidge, added some really polished 3D elements, and offered a co-op experience where we had to help the other person who was seeing something completely different than what we were seeing on our screen? Well, you'd get one of the most fun puzzle games I've had the pleasure of experiencing, and was such a fun video to put together for the channel as well. Shout out to Gavin for helping edit that video, because that was a monster.
The Past Within is all about teamwork and cooperation. One person is set in the future, one in the past, and you use the information around you to solve puzzles to slowly uncover the plans of your deceased father. The game offers challenge, mystery, and intrigue as the two sides of this story slowly converge on one another, opening up an exciting and memorable experience. For a first-time multiplayer game, developers Rusty Lake really hit a home run with this give and take cycle and how it influences the worlds of the players.
For only $5.99, this game has got me chasing a high for games that scratch that co-op limited info story shit that just hits so hard every single time. And luckily for you guys, I saved the best one for last, but I'll warn you, it's a little more hectic. And that is...
I don't remember how I found out about this one. I think I was just scrolling looking for co-op games and just stumbled upon it. Grabbing it solely because I thought, wow, this is just like that art style I've been obsessed with recently in other games that I've played or edited. This is gonna be awesome. And boy oh boy, did I not realize the monkey's paw I had just grabbed onto.
Death in Unison is one of the best indie co-op games I have ever played. Period. It hits the nail on the head for difficulty ramping extremely well, slowly adding more for you and your partner to manage, creating a sense of, oh, that made sense why we blew up, instead of, fuck, what the fuck, that's so stupid, god dang it, fuck, fuck, fuck. Additionally, it offers some incredibly scary threats that can muck around or end nights in a heartbeat.
But it never feels cheap or cheesy. It always feels like we overplayed our hands or got distracted for a few seconds making jokes or whatever. It just felt tense, a lot of pressure, but never enough to make you want to quit the game. Especially when there is so much fun narrative juice pumped into such an unknown game. Learning about the prison, the people who run it, the inmate files, hacking into emails, it just keeps feeding you, and I am never full from it.
I love this game, and I personally think it is 100% worth the $8.99 asking price. Games like these are now some of my favorites, and I honestly want as many eyes as possible on this game because it is so fucking underrated to hell. How is there less than 500 reviews? Holy shit.
And that, lads and lassies, and everyone in between, are 12 high-quality games that I personally believe are worth your money and time. I love all these games for so many different reasons, but the one thing they all have in common is that the people who made them put so much time, polish, and effort into giving a great experience that wasn't some crazy asking price that was far beyond the content offered. It valued us, the gamers, and gave us something truly worth it in my eyes.
I hope I've sold you on a few of these titles, or perhaps just even one of them. May you continue expanding your library, experimenting with your tastes, and trying genres maybe you haven't thought of before. And I hope you have fun doing it.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. This was kind of a very spur-of-the-moment one that I just typed up one night, and unfortunately, you know how it is. Time, work, everything just kind of kept pushing it back, but I'm glad I was finally able to bring it to fruition because I've been wanting to blabber on about a bunch of these games for quite a while now, so thank you for listening to me talk for the past little while now. All the games will be linked down in the description for both the Steam and GOG pages. I personally recommend getting it on GOG. I don't get anything out of it, but you do own the game because it's DRM free, and that's pretty cool nowadays. This was such a fun project, and it honestly has just inspired me to do more digging around for other games. So if you guys want to see some of the scripts I've been working on in the background where I do something like this but with, you know, different framing devices and such, let me know by leaving a like on the video, or if you have any games you think deserve a little bit of extra attention you'd like to see me cover in the future, leave a comment down below. I would greatly appreciate anything because, you know, we'll stream the game too. And who knows, maybe we'll make a video just specifically about it. Who knows? Thanks again to our members who help make content like this possible, especially our space captains like Element, TheMilitiaGamer, and CM Platinum. If you want to help bring bigger, crazier, stupider projects like these to life with all the costumes and animation and 3D designers and all that stuff, feel free to become a member yourselves. I price them super cheap because I understand that the world is chaotic and expensive right now, and I don't want to ask for crap tons of money because I'm not a fucking prick and I understand your money is valuable. But it does help me, you know, offset costs of these videos. So if you feel like it, I appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. Check out the playlist on screen to check out more video essay style content I've done in the past, or you can go check out my friend Rex's video where he talks about old school cartridges and why they're just fucking awesome. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, evening, or night, wherever you may be, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye!